Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Get ready to take a look at 5 scary videos of bizarre things caught on camera. Number 1. YouTube user Skateboard Chris is a man that claims to be living in a haunted house. And if you take a look at his channel, you'll find plenty of videos of the terrifying things he experiences on an almost daily basis. Chris and his wife moved into a new house in November of 2019. And after his car got broken into, they decided to set up cameras outside to keep an eye on their cars. Well, out of nowhere, they began to experience strange things inside of their home. And that's when they got the bright idea to bring their outdoor cameras inside. From seeing things move on their own, to hearing voices, to seeing shadow figures, there's no doubt in Chris's mind that a dark force is lurking in his home. Well, one day, while he was playing with his dogs, his camera managed to catch this. As Chris was talking to his dogs, he was totally unaware that the chair directly in front of him started to move on its own. And it wasn't until the chair fell and made a noise that it got his attention. On another day, the camera facing the kitchen caught something rather bizarre. One of the lights on the ceiling in the kitchen begins to spin around on its own. After noticing this movement, Chris went to inspect the light, but soon realized there was absolutely nothing that could have caused this to happen. More recently, while Chris was home alone, he began to hear strange noises coming from one of the rooms in his house. He grabbed his phone and began recording in hopes that something would happen, and eventually, it did. The door to Chris's room slowly began to creak forward on its own before suddenly getting slammed shut, leaving Chris frightened and not exactly sure what to think. All of Chris's videos appear to be very genuine to me, but I'll leave this one up to you to decide. Number 2. With a security camera mounted to the outside of your house, you never know what you may catch, whether it be the mailman or something more sinister. Well, recently, while scrolling through TikTok, I came across some security camera footage of something out of the ordinary. A woman named Cindy from France posted a video to TikTok that she can't come up with an explanation for. Around 10 p.m. on April 30th, Cindy received a motion detected notification from her outdoor camera. And when she took a look at the footage, this is what she saw. A strange white apparition can be seen floating back and forth near her car. And whatever this thing is, it definitely does not look like a person or animal. Now, I won't jump to conclusions and say that this is paranormal, but it's certainly not something that you see every day. Number 3. A majority of people have seen a shadow figure out of the corner of their eye at some point in their life. But despite this being a somewhat common occurrence, these elusive figures are rarely caught on camera. Well, a team of investigators from the Citrus Paranormal Group may have just done the impossible. This team set out to conduct an investigation at the historic Train Depot Museum. The original train tracks were built in 1885 in Brooksville, Florida. And in 1991, the Hernando Historical Association purchased the train depot and turned it into a museum. Well, visitors sometimes claim to see strange shadows while visiting the museum, and that's exactly what the Citrus Paranormal team set out to catch.
Can you see the window straight ahead for me?
Yes.
Back here?
Yes.
That's where they say they see a lot of shadows. It'll go across the window.
Yes.
Back here?
Yes.
That's where they say they see a lot of shadows. It'll go across the window.
While the team was in a boxcar, something strange made an appearance. A faint black shadow appears next to one of the investigators. Coincidentally, the shadow appears at the exact moment the investigators are discussing the shadows that people see. So maybe it just wanted to make a celebrity appearance. Number 4. TikTok user Mary Proctor has been using her account to document the bizarre things that have been happening in her home. Shortly after purchasing the house, the previous owner passed away. And ever since Mary and her family got settled in, they noticed strange things happening around the house. With cameras set up in multiple different rooms, Mary often catches things that she can't explain. Well, one night, Mary got a notification from her camera that something was moving in her child's room. As the video begins, we can see a bucket randomly tumbling across the floor from the right side. There doesn't look to be anyone in the room that could have moved the bucket, but if you look closely, multiple orbs can be seen floating around. Over time, Mary noticed that a majority of the activity was happening in her child's room. And every time she got a notification from her camera, she was not excited to take a look. The doll on the shelf mysteriously comes crashing down, and from the sound of the impact, it's clearly got some weight to it. So whatever unseen force was able to move this doll definitely has some strength. After reviewing more of her footage, it looks like whatever is haunting her home has a bone to pick with this doll. After sitting unmoved in the same spot for hours, the doll once again comes crashing down. Well, in her most recent piece of evidence, it's clear that all these things are not just one big coincidence. The door mysteriously opens to reveal no one on the other side. Then moments later, the toy on the floor randomly begins making noises. Well, Mary is braver than I am to keep this doll in the house because I would have introduced it to my good old pal, Mr. Chainsaw. Number 5. The last video that we're gonna take a look at comes from the historic Jefferson Hotel. Built in 1851 in Jefferson, Texas, this hotel has seen many things over the years. From starting out as a cotton warehouse in the 1850s to being transformed into a speakeasy, countless people have roamed these halls over the last 171 years. Many guests that have stayed at this hotel have come forward with stories of the frightening things they experienced. From ghostly children spotted in the halls to an apparition of a man that vanishes before your eyes. One night around 4 a.m., the owner Jeremy received a motion-detected notification from one of the cameras in the hotel, and upon reviewing the footage, he was terrified at what he saw. At the end of the hall, a dark figure can be seen quickly walking by. At the time this clip was recorded, no guests were staying at the hotel, and Jeremy and his wife were the only two people inside. After searching for anyone that could have snuck into the hotel, they found no one. So who or what could this have been? On another night, while Jeremy was doing some work in the hallway, something happened that sent chills down his spine. As Jeremy was walking down the hall, a door eerily opens on its own. There was no one else around at the time, so Jeremy was left scratching his head. More recently at the hotel, the camera in the kitchen managed to catch something rather bizarre.
I'm going to show you a zoomed in version here in a second. I just want you to see there's nobody around. Nothing like that. And we also debunk a lot of this. Let me turn up some of the... You can hear it move. We go in here in a second and we debunk a lot of it. As far as like going to the events to make sure nobody came in or out of the kitchen. There's first set of movement right there. We know nobody came into the kitchen. I came in there 3 hours prior to this, and I'll show you that footage. And we'll also go over the light anomaly, because that one is just crazy to me. I've never seen anything like that. So let's see what other movement we're going to get. That was the taller cracker. You can hear something's moving there. There's big movement. I think the taller box is about to go flying here in a second. Okay, you can hear it. There it goes. Alright, there's the taller box. Now again, I can't see a rat doing that. It would take something larger that we would catch on camera. So I don't know what's doing this, is all I can say. I'm not trying to make anybody believe that this is paranormal or anything like that. This is just what I'm finding. Alright, so the next movement is coming up. There we go. You can hear stuff moving around. And here we go. Alright, so that's all the movement we captured on camera.
Objects on the counter mysteriously begin moving on their own as a box gets knocked to the floor and bananas go flying across the room. So clearly, whatever spirit is haunting this hotel is not a fan of nanners. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and feel free to send me a DM anytime. As always, if you enjoy these creepy videos, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this.